Well, the Democrats are at it again. Violent, riotous, arson, attacking our cops, federal, state, and local, refusing to comply with law, and then blaming Donald Trump of being authoritarian, a dictator. I expected from the Democrat Party, I wrote a book you might recall called The Democrat Party Hates America, but it's the media, unfreedom of the press, I wrote that one too, but it's the media that stoke the flames, that pour the fuel on the fire. Because the media now are in the business of calling the good guys bad and the bad guys good. Whether it's Hamas and Israel, whether it's ICE and the rioters, whether it's the cops and our college campuses, whether it's you and me and the criminals and the illegal aliens. Donald Trump is doing exactly what he should do. As for the use of the military, there are several statutes that allow a president to use the military. And they've been used before Donald Trump ever ran for president the first time. Dwight Eisenhower used the United States Army. He issued an order to round up over 1 million illegal aliens and remove them within 6 months. Ronald Reagan, who was governor of California, used the National Guard to put down the violence on college campuses in the 1960s. George H.W. Bush in 1992 not only brought out the National Guard, but used the Insurrection Act to put down the riots yet again in Los Angeles. Donald Trump so far has used the National Guard, and he's sending several hundred Marines to back up the Guard. The LAPD is understaffed by over 1,000 officers because of their budget. The chief of police says that they're overwhelmed. We have a governor of California who's a drama queen. He's dumb as a doorknob, probably the lowest IQ of any governor, and that's saying a lot. He always does the wrong thing when the right thing should be done, whether it's the fires that took place outside of L.A. and around L.A., whether it's illegal immigration. He has spent that state into bankruptcy. California was a great state, a vibrant state, a law-abiding state. But it was too Republican. Republicans never lost in California. So the Democrats decided to change it. How? Through illegal immigration. That's how. Through taxes and regulating and productive people out of the state. They destroyed the state in order so that they would have all this power. The power of a one-party state. You've got a mayor who is a radical, who's always been a radical. You have a governor who's basically a political bureaucrat. That's all he's ever known. And truly stupid. And he thinks he should be president. Thinks he should be president. Bankrupts the state. Destroys law and order. Opens his borders. I believe we just voted against that. And the media, this mostly peaceful bullcrap. And now they add to that, well, it's mostly peaceful except when Trump stepped in. Trump did exactly the right thing at exactly the right time, and he may need to do more, and he'll do more. And he won't be the first president to do more, and he more likely won't be the last. There's nothing that Trump has done that is dictatorial or authoritarian. It's an amazing thing. Donald Trump calls up the National Guard because the governor in his sanctuary state refused to do so. Donald Trump wanted the National Guard to protect the Capitol building on January 6th. The mayor said no. The speaker said she didn't like the optics. Then he's blamed for January 6th. It's funny how the media forget, isn't it? But they don't forget. They censure, they lie, they distract. We literally have illegal aliens, Islamists, and of course Marxists rioting in L.A. and elsewhere rioting, carrying around the Mexican flag, and I also saw the Palestinian flag, for those who care. They come into our country. They steal their way into our country. They take our benefits. And here ICE was not doing a general roundup, which they're free to do. They were going after the most hardened criminals. The murderers, the rapists, the burglars, and others who've done other horrific things. But look, for the Democrat Party, those are future voters. They don't care. They claim to care about the cops. No, they don't. They don't care about them at all. And they never have. And once again, you're told, don't believe what you see and hear. This was peaceful until Donald Trump decided to step in. It wasn't peaceful. That's why Donald Trump did step in. And not only that, they're attacking federal law enforcement. It's not just a local law enforcement issue. They're attacking ICE agents. ICE agents, federal. And he's not going to wait for the radical left-wing kook mayor and the low-IQ drama queen governor to do something, because effectively they did nothing. And he moved quickly, like he should have. Quickly, like he should have. Now, when you assault a federal officer, you've committed a federal offense. And when you commit a federal offense, you should be prosecuted by federal prosecutors. That way we can be sure that you'll do time, hopefully a lot of time. 18 USC Code Section 111. Whoever forcibly assaults, resists, opposes, impedes, intimidates, or interferes with any person designated in Section 1114 of this title, who are engaged in the performance of official duties, this includes Border Patrol, and, by the way, National Guardsmen, shall be fined and imprisoned for up to 1 year for simple assault and up to 8 years where such acts involve physical contact with the victim of that assault or the intent to commit another felony. And use of a deadly or dangerous or inflicts bodily injury shall be fined, deadly or dangerous weapon, or inflicts bodily injury shall be fined and imprisoned not over 20 years. A simple assault does not require physical contact between the perpetrator and the federal agent. This means someone can commit an assault without ever touching the officer. It makes it a federal crime to assault any federal officer, agent, or employee of the U.S. government or member of the uniformed services. This includes government employees on the job and may consist of former employees, as a matter of fact. Examples of federal agents include, not limited to, FBI agents, Border Patrol agents, U.S. Marshals, ATF agents, ICE agents. That's what we're talking about. IRS employees, postal workers, current or retired federal judges. Okay, now if you make actual physical conduct, you're on the hook for at least for a felony up to 8 years and $250,000 in fines for each assault. If it's a serious assault, you can do up to 20 years and $250,000 in fines for each offense. There's no question, then, that there's federal authority to prosecute. And there's no question there's federal authority because you're dealing with a federal agency, an ICE, a federal immigration enforcement agency. These are police officers, federal police officers, who are being attacked. So you don't have to sit around and wait for the radical left-wing commie mayor. You don't have to wait for the drama queen, do-nothing clown of a governor to act, to call in the National Guard, or, by the way, the regular military. Under the Insurrection Act, as George H.W. Bush did. But he did it when we're not even talking about attacks on federal law enforcement. Here, we have federal law enforcement under attack. So this is a open and shut case, a black and white case. It's that simple. That's it. There's no question there's federal authority. None whatsoever. Let's see, I'm just looking further. So I wanted to lay down that predicate as we go on, to straighten out the liars in the media, the scum Democrat media liars.